everyone. Welcome to my Thursday night live to go class. I am April Davis with April Davis Creations, and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And tonight is Thursday evening, May 23rd. Welcome. I'm going to double check like I always do to make sure. Yep, I'm live. So if you're here with me, please do say hello. Let me know where you're watching me from. And I'm really excited tonight because we are going to do a continuation of the Gone Fishing stamp set and die set. But before we go there, I want to say thank you. Something big happened to me this week, and I have you guys to thank. I have been doing Stampin' Up for probably greater than 10 years. The reason that I don't know how long that I've been doing Stampin' Up is because I've been a demonstrator 3 different times. I joined to get the kit. I joined to get my product at a discount. I craft and then I don't stay active. And then I join again. Well, about 3 years ago, I joined Stampin' Up again as a hobbyist. I wanted that kit and that discount. I wanted to replenish my supplies. But something strange happened because I just been a hobbyist. And I, about a year and a half ago, decided that I wanted to build a business with Stampin' Up. So I started holding classes and going to craft fairs, reaching out to people. But it wasn't until October of last year that I got involved in social media and started going live on my Facebook page, and then would upload my live recordings to YouTube. Well, this week, because of you guys, I reached 500 subscribers. That's amazing to me. Just the fact that I've got 500 subscribers that watch me craft, that like my videos, that leave me such sweet comments. I just want to say thank you. It's because of you that I'm at 500, and I never envisioned that. I know it maybe doesn't sound like a lot, but it is to me, considering I never thought that I would be working Stampin' Up as a business, let alone going into social media and doing my videos live. So thank you so much. And as a result of that, I want to do something special for you guys. So what I'm going to do is I am going to share with you, let me see if I can join you guys at the same time. Whoops, let me try this again. There we go. I'm with you now. I wanted to just say thank you by doing a drawing for a past stamp set bundle that we've had. This is the Hello Ladybug bundle. It's springtime. Thanks, Sandy. I'm so excited. But it's a brand new bundle. It's new. It's not in the catalog anymore, but it has never been used. And it also comes with the Ladybug Punch Builder. So you're able to do your stamping and punching. I would like to give this as a gift, as my way of saying thank you for supporting me. So what I would like to do, and I have a favor to ask because I'm still continuing to develop and grow this community and my channels. But for this Facebook Live, if you would like and share this video and put in the comments, liked and shared, I will collect up everybody's names who said that they've liked and shared, and your name will go into a drawing. This is for the Facebook Live. I will upload it to YouTube because it's the YouTube subscribers that I've reached 500 on. So I'll upload it to YouTube, and anybody that's watching the YouTube video can also like and share it. Please put in the comments that you've liked and shared. I'll collect up your names and we'll do a drawing. If you do it on Facebook and you do it on YouTube, then your name will go into the drawing twice. And then if you're not following me on Facebook or you haven't subscribed to YouTube, I hope you'll do that as well. But what we'll do is I will collect your names up off of Facebook and off of YouTube from the comments through Wednesday. And then as I'm prepping for my next Thursday night live next week I will do a drawing and I will announce the name of the winner on my to-go class, my Thursday Night Live next Thursday. But again, thank you so much. I'm so grateful that I've got such wonderful people following me and enjoying my videos. So, other things that I want to update you on before I actually get started into the cards for tonight. So let me pull up another screen. I'm going to take myself down just because I end up being in the way. But I did want to remind everybody about the Crafting Crossroads Fusion Fest. It's a techniques class that I'm doing with Tina Koverchik. She's the Northern Stamper. She is in Canada, so we're doing it cross borders. She's in Canada, I'm in the US, so anybody who's in Canada will be working with her, anybody in the US will be working with me, but we've got techniques galore. 3 days of techniques. Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. This is in September the 27th, 28th, and 29th. Your registration will get you a package of supplies that are worth more than $50 so that you guys you've got the tools and everything that you need to perform these techniques. It'll include cardstock, and again, tools, but you'll get a package of everything that you need so you can do these techniques with us. And then we'll also be recording these techniques. We have a special Facebook group that you'll be invited to. And all of these will be recorded, plus we'll be live. So there's a lot of activities going on. We know that 3 days is a lot of time to expect, all of you to be with us, but you will have the opportunity to go back and look at the videos whenever you get a chance to. So right now we have an early bird special. If you go to my website, aprildaviscreations.com, all of the information, clubs and classes, go to Crafting Crossroads, all of the information's there. The early bird special ends on June 15th, and then it goes up to the regular price after June 15th. So please consider it. It's going to be lots of fun, and you're going to learn a ton of techniques in this class. The other thing that I wanted to do, since I am on my website, is I'm just going to point you to where you're going to get the information for the to-go class. This is a to-go class, which means I'm going to show you how to make 3 cards. If you like these cards and you want to make them yourself, you can actually get the kit for these cards for free. You get two of each card. So you'll get that absolutely free for placing an order in my online store. You place a $40 order, you're gonna get the kit for free utilizing this host code. So please be sure to utilize the host code that's here. And if you place an order of $50 or more, and I'm gonna come back up here so that I can kind of be present to show you, an order of $50 or more is gonna get you a free package of our linen thread that I've been utilizing not only last week, but I'm gonna utilize it this week on our cards. So I did wanna let you know about that. But all that information is on my website. What else do I want to tell you about? One more thing I want to bring up, and that is the amazing kit special that we have going on right now. I've told you guys a number of times, I joined Stampin' Up! 3 times to get the kit and to get my products at a discount. Never had any intentions of building a business. And it was fine. I mean, for 10 plus probably 12 plus years. That's how I did it until just recently when I decided to build my business. It was just the right time for me. But my point is that this kit, because you're getting all the new in colors, it's $82 really of free product in addition to what you're going to get with your kit. You pay $99, you get $125 in product of your choice, you pick, plus you get the additional $82. If you just want the discount, if you just want to stock up on some supplies, this is the time to do it, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions. This only goes through the end of May, so we've got 1 more week that we're able to do this. So I definitely wanted to be sure and mention this to you guys, just so that if you are interested, you still have time to do that. All right, let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and get us set up so that I can start to share the cards with you that we're making. We are utilizing, again, the Gone Fishing stamp set and dies that come with it. This is in our current catalog. I will tell you that when it initially came out, we did have a designer series paper that came with it. And I know you guys can't get this designer series paper, but I had a lot of this designer series paper and I want to be able to share it with you. So when I demonstrate it in a kit, you guys are going to get it in your kit. That said, I do have cards that I've made. If you don't have the designer series paper, but you've got the Gone Fishing bundle, you guys can use whatever designer series paper you want. One of the ones that I really, really like is the Country Woods designer series paper. I'm actually going to show it to you here, but let me tell you, this designer series paper is unavailable right now. I'm so sorry. I can't even believe I'm having to tell you this, but it will be available after June 10th. When I design these cards and create them for my to-go classes, I have no insight as to whether or not the product is going to sell out or not. This has been really popular, but the good news is it's coming back. So I'm going to go ahead and show it to you because I am utilizing it in my cards tonight. But this Country Woods paper is the perfect paper to utilize with this Gone Fishing. It's just so rustic and masculine, and I just love it. So I've incorporated not only my designer series paper from the Gone Fishing bundle, but I've also included this in as well because it just makes gorgeous, gorgeous cards. And if you are interested in this paper, no worries, it is coming back. It'll be back June 10th. And sometimes these things come back sooner than they say. So just go out to the Stampin' Up! Site and look for it. And it'll tell you it's unavailable, but I might be able to, give you some insight as to when it's coming back. All right, so let's talk about the cards. We've got 3 fun cards tonight. We have a fishing vest card, and we're going to do something different with this. We've got some lures hanging out, and then we've got some fish hanging out that are actually chasing some lures. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started on this card. I decided that after doing it the first time around, I wanted to change it up a little bit. So let me share with you what is in this kit. We have the Wild Wheat cardstock. We have some Very Vanilla cardstock. I've actually created a couple of panels with the Wild Wheat, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with those. I've already stamped the fish. I've got to do some, and the lures, I've got to do some coloring on them, but I wanted to go ahead and get them stamped. And then I've got the pockets that go on the vest. And these were all done with the Stylish Shapes dies that I've got somewhere, but they're all the squares. So what I did just to start, I wanted to share with you that I was looking at this vest and it just seemed a little plain to me. It's cute, but it just seemed a little plain. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of dress it up a little bit, and I utilized the Cane Weave embossing folder. And I think when I get this put together, this is gonna look so cool. And I don't know, I think it's gonna be more of a vesty kind of look. But I want you to notice that I've been inking around the edges with this. Sometimes when you're using plain cardstock, you want to add some dimension to your cardstock, and so you want to do some inking. And so that's what we're going to do with this. And what I do is I have a collection of daubers, and I believe the case I got, I don't know, I probably ordered it on Amazon, but it keeps all my daubers together. And then what I like to do is I like to just put a little label on my dauber. That way I'm using the same colored ink. So you can use the daubers to ink the edges. You can use them to do ink blending. And I'm going to go ahead and get started by just doing some inking of the edges. And I think probably before I finish that up, what I should do is I should get this cut the way that it needs to be cut. what I did is I've already got it folded. And instead of just folding it in half like you would a normal card, you'd have it scored at 4 1/4. I just scored it at 2 1/8 on each side and brought it into the middle. Then what I did is I took a piece of scratch paper and I just angled it off, and I used the angle as my pattern so that I had the same angle all the way through. So that's what I'm going to do to start. Is I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to cut off my corners, and I can flip this over. It's just a piece of scrap paper, but this way I can shape my vest so it doesn't look like a boxy square. So let me go ahead and get this done, and I want to get this cut before I do the inking, because obviously I'm going to be inking these corners. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm just lining this up so we have the same angle on all my squares. So now when I fold this together, we've got this, except for, you know what I did? It's okay, I'm good. I shouldn't have cut the top. I got so carried away that I went ahead and did the top. But we'll go ahead and we'll do the collar, and I'm going to use the angle of the square. I'm improvising here since I got, thank you, Kara. I like that paper as well. I got carried away and I just cut everything. So we're going to fix that. I think it's one of the things that I love doing most is messing up. Not really, but I love being able to fix it for you guys. So I'm pretty, what do I want to say? Creative when it comes to trying to fix my messes, because I don't want to start over. So I did want to go ahead and do this with my panels as well. So now we've got all of this, and I'm going to kind of play around with this here in just a second. I've got some ideas going on in my head. So let me move this off to the side. I'm going to pull the wild wheat out. I'm going to save all of this, and I'm just going to take my dauber and we're going to ink the edges. And all you're doing is just kind of flicking along the edge. You can make it as light or as dark as you want. I want to make sure that we can see it. So I'm going to flick the edges here, and it goes fairly quickly. I've got a lot of inking to do, but I think it just makes such a big difference when you've got plain cardstock that you're trying to dress up. So we'll do that. So while I'm inking these edges, I have to share with you, I was watching YouTube before I signed on for this Facebook Live, and I was watching a guy, his channel's called Max Velocity. I don't know if you guys have heard of him before or have ever been out to his channel, but he is a weather geek, and this weather that we've been having lately it's just been crazy. I mean, I think here in Kansas, or at least in Spring Hill, where I live, it's been fairly mild. I mean, we've had our share of storms for sure, but it's been fairly mild. But there's a lot of places that have just had some severe weather. And tell me if you guys agree with me or not, but I feel like we've had way more tornadoes this year than we have in the past few years. I mean, every year we do have tornadoes, but oh my goodness, I just feel like we have had a significant number of tornadoes this spring. So anyway, I was watching him, and of course there are severe storms up in Nebraska and several tornadoes up in Nebraska, and then down in Oklahoma, and then also in Texas. And Kansas was just clear, you know. I mean, obviously it's getting cloudy outside, and we may get some storms tonight, but the severe storms that they've had have not been in Kansas. Right now they're in Nebraska, Oklahoma, and Texas. Okay, so I've got this inked, and I think I'm going to leave it at that. And now what I need to decide, I'll go ahead and get my panels on. I'll get those put on first, and then I'm going to decide, let me see. Oh, so let's see. How am I going to do this? I'm going to cut this one off. I didn't plan very well, and so I cut off more than I probably should have cut off. Oh, wait. No, I'm not done yet. I didn't cut off this edge. I'm like, what is wrong with this picture? I didn't cut off this edge. I got carried away and cut off stuff that I wasn't supposed to cut off, but then I didn't cut off what I was supposed to cut off. So this will make more sense now. I had to just stop and think for a second. What the heck just happened? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, now that I've got this cut off, I'm gonna go ahead and ink this up. All right, is that all inked up? That's all inked up. Okay, we've got that. Now what I can do is I can take my panel, and I've got one more corner that I need to cut off. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we'll ink this edge. All right, I think these panels are gonna look so good. And then we're gonna do this one, and I'm gonna have to cut off this edge. So I'm gonna flip my template over, and we'll cut off this edge, and I'll ink. All right. Oop, wrong one. All right. So now we've got our panels done. Let me move this off to the side. I'm gonna need that again in just a second, but let's go ahead and get this adhered. So starting here, I'm gonna pull my glue out, move these off to the side, and we'll get these glued down. So we're gonna build the vest first. And then once we get the vest built, then what we'll do is we will add the fish. So let me go ahead and get this one done. That looks good to me. Okay, let's do this side. This way. And because this is an embossed piece, excuse me, I want to make sure that I've got plenty enough glue because I've got peaks and valleys with this piece. And so the glue isn't going to, hi Laura, thank you for joining. I want to make sure that it adheres well. So let's go ahead and get this. All right, so now we've got the front of the vest. Can you tell the difference already? I'm so excited. Now, I did cut off my collars accidentally, so I want to check something out. I wonder if I put like a little dimensional here, if I might be able to salvage my vest. Or, you know, sometimes, I'm not going to worry about it right now because sometimes vests don't have collars. So let's go ahead and we're going to get our pockets down. I've already inked my pockets. So let's go ahead and do this for now. And then I can go back and decide if I want collars going forward. That might have been a happy mistake that I made. All right, let me close this up. I'm going to bring out some dimensionals. And I'm going to put my dimensionals not so much in the center. I'm going to put them down towards the bottom. And the reason that I'm doing that is so that I've got room to put my fishing lures and my fish that are jumping out of the pocket. So let me get the rest of these. And we'll get these down. All right. So I'm going to pull the backs off of my pockets so that I can get them adhered. And let's go ahead and get these pockets down. So we're going to put one here, I think. Get it right, centered. So my dog, Harper, is demanding my attention. And so my apologies if you hear her whining in the background. My husband is out of town this week and she just wants attention and I can't give it to her right now because I'm live on Facebook. Harper, go lay down. And so I'm hoping I left the back door open for her so she can go out, so I don't need to get up to take her out. But she just wants somebody to pay attention to her. Okay, so we've got the vest started, okay? Now, a couple things I need to do. I need to do some stamping. So this is gonna be the inside of the vest, and obviously I'm going to have to trim off, whoops, you can't see it. I'm gonna have to trim off the corners here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my pattern again, and I'm gonna trim off these corners. Flip it over. We'll get this one trimmed off. There we go. Move those off to the side. And now this will fit into the inside of my card. And this is going to be a retirement card, so I'm gonna stamp Happy Retirement. And I'm just gonna take, just for some interest, I'm gonna take these ripples of water and I'm going to stamp up in the corner. Again, just to kind of add a little bit of interest. These are photopolymer stamps, so before I actually start stamping, I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pearson mat so that I've got some cushion going on for my stamp. So we're gonna do this here, and I'll clean that in just a second. And then we've got Happy Retirement. So I'm gonna ink it up, tap, 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 and we're gonna stamp. I'm gonna test this out. I'm just wanna make sure, okay. I'm an advocate for stamping just as a practice to make sure I've got everything the way that I need it. All right, so I'm gonna stamp this here. Okay, so now I've got my inside. Let me clean my stamps up and close out my ink. We'll get that adhered, and then we're gonna start working on some fish. So let me do this. Close out my ink. We'll go ahead and get this adhered to the inside of the card. Okay, and then get this centered the way that I want it. Pick it up. Glue allows me to kind of move it around just a little bit so that I make sure I have it exactly where I want it. I'm happy with that. So, good start to the vest. Let's move on and let's work on the fish. So where's the rest of my kit? It's hiding here somewhere. Do you guys see where I put it? I had did I put it back in the envelope? No, the envelope is empty. Oh my gosh, guys, I've lost the rest of my kit. What happened to it? Do you guys see? Oh, here it is. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but it's right here. I'm like, how can I lose that? Okay, so we've got a fish that we need to do. We've got a lure that we need to do, and then we're gonna die cut all of these. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually do some coloring on them. And I'm gonna take my wild wheat, and last week I used the blender pen quite a bit. I'm gonna use the blender pen again this week. So I've got some leftover ink in the lid. And remember, the blender pen has got some sort of a liquid in it. It's wet, but it's not like a drippy wet. So you can actually gather up some ink on the end of your blender pen, and then you can come in here and you can just like add some color. So I'm not doing a lot. I'm just gonna add a little bit. I'm gonna kind of go with the flow of the shadows that this lure has. So that's all I'm gonna do with that. And then let me see, I've got a paper towel here that I'm gonna pull out, and that's how you clean your blender pen, is you just take it and rub it on your paper towel, and now it's clean. I'm gonna use a little bit more with my blender pen, and I'm gonna pull out a, probably a boho blue ink, and we're going to color in, I've got some more ink here, and I'm gonna color in part of this lure. And so we're just gonna add a little bit of blue to this lure, not a lot. I just wanna add, you know, just some shading to it, a different color so it doesn't all look the same. So we've got this, okay? And then I'm gonna continue to use the blender pen, but I'm gonna bring in my colored pencils that I utilized last week. And I was utilizing the Rich Razzleberry, the Crushed Curry, and the Cajun Craze. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me see, I'm going to take my darker color and I'm going to color in my fish. And then what we're going to do after we've done this is we will take this blender pen and we're going to blend the pencil together, and we're going to have a nice smooth finish with this. So I'm going to do this on the bottom of my fish. This is the crushed curry. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I'm just making this up. I'm pretending this is a trout. I don't really know what trouts look like. I just know that they have more than one color. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend these colors together. Let's see, we'll do this, and then I'm gonna take my blender pen. And again, my blender pen is nice and clean. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start blending these colors together. And these blender pens with these pencils, it's like magic. It just kind of melts the pencil, and all that color just starts to blend together. Hence, it's called a blender pen. But look how pretty that is. And you saw me, I wasn't taking any care. I just was throwing some color down. But look how pretty that is. So now I have my trout colored. I'm gonna clean off my blender pen. I'm gonna scooch all of these little cutoffs out of the way. And let me see, my cap for my blender pen's here. We're going to bring out the dies that we need to cut these lures. I have my fish die, I have this one, and I need this one, I believe. So I'll bring out my tape so we can get these cut. These cards really are fun to make. I think one of the reasons why I enjoy making them so much is, first of all, you get to be creative. You know, you can make it as detailed as you want, and you're going to see the difference when we look at how I've done the vest for this particular card versus the first one that I did. But I get to create with the coloring on the lures and how everything goes together. And we've got the stamps that do it. I can use pencils that do it. I can use the Stampin' blends, which are the markers, and it's a lot of fun. And I can't wait to show you a project that I made with this set. I'll show you as soon as I get these other cards out of the way. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and die cut these. Move this off to the side. We've got our fish. I'm gonna save my tape. So here's my trout, and we've got my lures. So there's a lure, and here's the other one. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's finish putting this card together. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut my fish in half, because you can see I have the head coming out of one pocket, I have the tail coming out of the other pocket, and it's just one fish. So let me take my snips, and I am going to cut my fish maybe like this. So we've got that. I'm gonna kind of take that point off. We don't need that point. And then I'm gonna bring out my dimensionals, and we are going to start tucking in our fish and our lures. So here are my dimensionals. I think I'm gonna use the smaller ones. Maybe I'll bring the big ones out just in case. So I've got those, and we'll go with the first fish. And let me see, I wanna put him probably right about here. So I'm gonna tuck him in there. So I'm gonna put the dimensional, I think I'll use a little one. That big one is a little big. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that off and get him tucked in. And remember, I made sure that the dimensionals on the pockets were down a little bit lower, so that gave me plenty enough room to be able to tuck him in. And now what I can do is I can take the top part of the fish, and I'm gonna tuck him in about like that. So we'll do the same thing. He might go a different direction. I have to see. I kind of cut him at an angle this time, which Maybe I don't want them going in an angle. Maybe I want them just to go like that. Okay, so now we've got our fish in our pockets. And then how cute this lure is going to tuck in. And I don't really need to use a dimensional on him. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of glue, just a tiny bit of glue, and then we're gonna tuck the hook into the pocket. And then we've got this lure, and we're just gonna put this lure on the top here. It doesn't need a dimensional. So let me grab it. I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue. Don't need a lot. And then we'll turn him this way, and I'm gonna lay him on that pocket. So now we've got the lures on the pocket. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna take my linen thread, and I'm going to just tie a couple of knots. So I'm gonna double them up though. So let me fold this in half, and then we'll double this up and tie it. Pull this through. So we've got that one. I'm not gonna make the knot too tight, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off, and then I'll cut this. So let me see, that's this one. I'm just looking to see if it's a little long. I think it is. So I'm gonna cut these down just a tad. Okay, and then we're gonna do a second one just like that, and it's gonna go on the other lure. So let me get this set up so I can get my knot. And then what we'll do after I have this tightened up, we're going to adhere them onto the pockets with, or the lures, I suppose, with glue dots. So now we've got this one. All right, is that one a little long? Maybe just a tad bit long. So I don't want it to be too overflowing. So let's trim those up, get my scraps off of here. And then I'll bring out my glue dots, grab one, use my take your pick to make like a little knot with it. And then I'm gonna lay this one down here. I'm gonna put it up closer to the head of the hook, if you will. And then we'll take this one and do another knot. And we're gonna put this one down here by this one. There we go. And then I'll just take the knots and lay them on top of the glue dots. And there we go. We've got this one done. Isn't that cute? Okay, so you guys weigh in. Let me know. I obviously cut off the collars, but I could potentially put a collar back on. But I know that I have seen some vests that do not have collars, but you guys tell me what you think. Should I go ahead and try to put a collar back on? I'll just put like glue dots underneath it and put the collar on, or leave the collar off. Remember, this is a fishing vest. So he's out in the middle of the river fishing. So I don't know if he needs a collar or not. Anybody want to weigh in on that and tell me yes or no to the collar? The first one that says yes or no is what I'm doing. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I like it both ways. I like it both ways. So, anybody, yay or nay? No takers? Okay, well, I'm just going to put this off to the side then because I need to move on to my next card. So we'll move this off to the side. We can do this later if we want to. And I'm going to bring out the next card, which is this one. And it has the fishing line with the lures on it. Yes to the collar. Okay, Kara, just in time. I know there's a little bit of a delay with Facebook. So maybe I should wait a little bit longer. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these collars and I'm going to take a little dimensional and I'm going to put it behind each of these little pieces that I cut off. They've already been inked. So let's go ahead and pull these off. And then I'm going to actually have my tweezers help me get this lined up the way that I want it. But we'll put this collar here. And it's kind of got a dimension, well, because it's on dimensionals, duh. the collar, you know, you kind of want the collar to stand up anyway. So I think this collar is going to have to be tucked underneath this fish's fin here, but we'll put this one here. And now we have a collar. You guys thought I messed up, didn't you? I kind of did, but I fixed it. I now have a collar for my card. So card number 1. Thanks, Kara. I like the collar too. All right, back to this card. We are going to do fishing lures. And so we are utilizing the Moody Mauve cardstock. That's going to be our base. We're going to use that country, what did I call that? It's the country, it's that other paper that I like so much that isn't the fishing paper. Country Woods. Country Woods paper, pretty on both sides. Then we've got the white cardstock that we're going to utilize to stamp our sentiment on. And then I have already punched out part of the lure here. So we've got that, but I do need to do some stamping. So that's what we're going to do now, is we're going to do some stamping so that we can get our lures stamped so that we can get them die cut. All right, so first one we need to stamp is our trout. This time I'm going to stamp the color in the trout. I might add a little bit more, but I'm going to stamp the trout in gray granite. I'm going to stamp it in a gray. So we're going to pull that up. I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. I'm not going to lose it. I want to bring back in my Stampin' Pierce mat so that I've got some cushion to stamp on. And I'm going to bring in some of my cardstock. So the first thing I'm going to do is stamp my fish. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get him stamped right here. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some color to him. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, sorry guys, I want to make sure that I get this stamp cleaned before I move on. So we've got that. I think I'm going to stamp him in a Moody Mauve, but I think what I'll do, let me see how dark this is. We're going to practice. This is a layer that you stamp on this fish. So I'm going to tap it in the Moody Mauve and I'm going to stamp that off. That's so dark. So we're going to actually do, once I get it to stamp correctly, see, I'm practicing. Okay, we got it. All right, so I'm going to do this one more time. I'm going to stamp off and then I'm going to come over to my fish. And I'm sorry if my head gets in the way. I'm trying to line this up correctly, but I'm going to stamp it right here. Oh, didn't do so good. That's okay. Nobody will know. I'm going to add some additional color. So I'm going to actually bring in my wild wheat and we're gonna fill it in. Let me clean this stamp off quickly. Didn't get it lined up quite the way that I wanted to, but again, I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna die cut it and I've got more color to put on it. So I'm gonna bring in the wild wheat and I'm gonna make up the difference. So I've got a little bit of color here and we're just gonna go ahead and blend in some additional color for this fish. So let me do that. And that's fun too because I've stamped color on it, but I'm also adding additional color with the blender pen. So everything is, you know, the Stampin' Up! Inks, I'm just adhering it in different ways or adding it in different ways. So now he's got like little scales on him and I don't want his scales to be white. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bring in the wild wheat and I'm going to finish that up by adding some color to his scales. Okay, so there he is. Now let's go ahead, I'm gonna clean this up. Let me bring back my paper towel. We'll clean that up. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stamp a lure in boho blue. And this stamp is also layered. So I've got two pieces. I've got this piece, this stamp, and then I've got this stamp. So let's go ahead and get him going. So I'm going to stamp that. And then I'm making sure that I'm leaving plenty enough room because I have dies that I need to deal with. I'll come back to that in just a second. Let me do the main part. I'm looking through to make sure that I'm getting a good coating. I'm going to practice here. Yep, happy with that. So now I'm just going to line this up. There we go. We've got that one. So let's get these cleaned up. And I'm trying to decide, I can probably get one more lure on this piece of cardstock. And this one, actually, I did find as I went back and looked at it again, it also is a double stamp. So let me, there's this one and this one. All right, so we're gonna do him in the Moody Mauve. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the main one stamped, and I'm gonna move him over here so I don't interfere with the other one when I do the die. So now we've got that stamped in Moody Mauve. And then I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring in the wild wheat and I'm going to finish stamping him. I practiced before and I felt like the wild wheat was just a little bit too dark, and I'll show you what I mean. So tap, tap, stamp that. I just feel like that's gonna be dark. So I'm gonna pretend I'm gonna do a little bit lighter, and I think I'm gonna like the little bit lighter better this time. Maybe not, but I'm gonna stamp that off, and then I'm gonna line this up, and I'm gonna stamp it. There you go. Oh, that turned out so good. I'm glad I stamped off. Look at his little eyeball. I'm actually gonna use gems for the eyeballs, but let me get these all closed. And then I've got one more lure I need to stamp, and that is our big one. Did I get that cleaned off? I don't think I did. Or if I did, I didn't get the center cleaned off because I'm looking and I'm seeing wild wheat in it. All right, got that. Let's pull this one out, and it actually has two pieces to it as well. So we're gonna do this one in copper clay. Get these ink pads out of the way so I have a little bit more room. And then we'll stamp him first. Him, I don't know why these lures are all male, but I'm just gonna test to see if I wanna do it a little bit lighter. Nope, I like the darker. All right, so let's get this, and we'll just line him up right here. He will lighten a little bit while he dries, or while it dries. Clean this off. And then this also has a layered stamp that I am going to utilize, and I'm gonna go really crazy. I'm gonna do Azure Afternoon. When I was growing up, my dad was a bass fisherman, and hi Diane, good to see you. He was a bass fisherman, and he would make his own lures, and he made some really bright lures. Chartreuse, I think, which is a really bright, like yellow green. He would make chartreuse lures because he wanted the fish to see them and go after them. So this isn't chartreuse, this is a blue, but I'm gonna go ahead and I can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me bring it up a little bit closer if you guys can see it. It's really pretty, but it's dark, but it's really pretty. So anyway, we've got a blue in our lure as well. So let me get these cleaned up, and then I'm gonna pull the dies out again, and we're gonna run these through again. Actually, before we do the dies, I've got one more thing to stamp. I'm going to put this part of the lure over here so I don't lose it, but I do need to stamp the main layer. So we are going to stamp that in Good Things Come to Those Who Wait, and I'm going to stamp that in copper clay. Oop, that's not copper clay. This is copper clay. And we'll put it down in the lower left-hand corner. So let me get this inked up. When I'm looking at it, I'm double checking to make sure that I've got everything coated. And then I'm going to come down here on the lower right-hand corner and stamp that down. Nice. All right, let's get this cleaned up. And now we can, well, there's one more thing we need to do. And now, one more thing. We need to draw in our fishing line. So I have to decide, maybe I should cut first because I'm not quite sure where I want to draw my fishing line in just yet until I have my lures. So I'm going to go back to my original plan and I'm going to die cut my lures. So let's pull the dies back out again. Got this one and this one, and I'm not sure, I don't think I have that other one out. So let me go back here and see if, there it is, it's right here. So we'll pull that out. All right, I've got my tape that I was utilizing from before. So we'll go ahead and get these lined up. Get them taped down so they don't move before I get a chance to die cut them. My little trout. I don't know if it's a trout or not. Kind of looks like one. That's what I'm calling it, at least. We've got this one. Is that, am I good with that? Yep. And then I need one more little piece of tape, if I can find my tape, for this lure. But the lures that my dad would make when he was making his lures, they were huge. They were big. I mean, he was after big fish, big bass. It was bass. And I mean, he did have a few big ones. I don't know how big they were, but they were big enough that he had them, took them to the taxidermist and had them stuffed. And then they hung on our wall in our dining room. An interesting place to hang fish, but he was proud of those fish. And you know, bass fishermen, they work really hard for their fish. It's not like you throw in your line and you wait for the bobber to go down. They throw and they reel and they throw and they reel. So, you know, it was a fun sport for him. And the bass was good. He would bring it home. I don't know the ones that got stuffed we got to eat, but he'd bring home a lot of bass and we would get to eat it, and it was really good. All right, we got our trout going on here. There's another lure. Oops. Move that out of the way. And then the last one. Now what I can do is I can start to figure out where I want my fishing lines to go. All right, so let me move this out of the way. Bring this back in. I'm gonna kind of lay this out the way that I want it. I'm gonna put this one here, put this one down here. This doesn't look anything like the other card. A little bit, it does a little bit, but you know me, it's like I don't ever really make two cards the same. There's always some little change to them somewhere. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in my T-ruler and I'm going to line this up, and I want this lure to go right here. So I'm going to move it out of the way. I'll move these things around again, but this is kind of how I'm doing this. So I want it to go about right here. So I'm going to just draw a line here. All right, so we've got our first one, but I am using a marker. So I've got like a little wipe so that I don't get ink on my paper because I'm busy drawing lines. So I think this one's going down a little bit further. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up about right here. And if I go down too far, I can cover part of it up, but we've got this one going here. Okay. And then this one is the next one, and it's going to be shorter. So we're going to put it right about here, I think. Yeah. So let me move this out of the way. And I do, I know I'm talking to you guys, but I talk to myself too when I'm crafting. So sometimes I'm just like, okay, this is what we're gonna do next. And then my fish needs to go on here. And he's going probably, he's going down a little bit lower. So, and I'm almost to the edge, so I didn't space that out quite the way that I wanted to, but I think it'll be just fine. So now we've got our fishing line added in. And now what I can do is I'm going to take dimensionals and I'm going to start adhering the lures to the card base. So let me see, which dimensional do I want? A big dimensional or a little dimensional? I don't know. Let's see, I think I can get by with a big one right here. So we'll go ahead and get that one added. Oop. So we've got lure number 1 added. Now we'll do this one. This one's a little skinnier, so I'm going to do a couple of minis on it. Oh. Take my backs off. Did that come off? No, it didn't. All right. So I'll take this one and line it up about right here. Okay. This one looks like it's got a fat belly, so I think I can probably get one dimensional on it. I'll bring it up here. And then we've got my trout. And I think I'm gonna do 2 right about here. All right. So we've got these guys ready to go. Now what we'll do is we'll finish building the rest of the card base. Let me get this stuff out of the way. And let's see, the card base is over here. So we're gonna fold this over and use the bone folder to burnish the edges. And then we'll take our Designer Series paper and we are going to adhere it down in the center. All right. Get it down. I'm looking to see that I've got it the way that I want it. Then I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this, and we're going to pop this one up. So we'll put the dimensionals on the back. And I'm going to go down the sides, and then I'll put one in the center of each, what I say is square. Center there and a center there. So let's go ahead and get these backs off. Almost done with this card. All we'll need to do once we get this adhered down is bring out our in color dots, and we'll add a little bit of color to it, and this one will be done. All right, little checking it. Yep, I got them all off. Yay. All right, get rid of those. Bring these guys in, get them adhered down. I want to center these appropriately. I think that'll get me where I want to be. Yep. Move this over just a tad. All right, we've got that. So let's bring in the end color dots. Oh, gosh, guys, I almost forgot to do my little feather that goes on this one. This one, I'm just going to put on with some glue. Okay, and we'll lay it down right here. Diane, how has the weather been where you're at? I feel like Arkansas has been like in the red zone for the last couple of days. Have you guys had bad weather? goodness, is this stuck? Why isn't this opening? I guess it is. All right, here we go. All right, so now I'm going to take my Take Your Pick, and we'll take a little blue gem, and we're gonna put it right here on this one. And then we'll take a little red one, and we're gonna put it right here. Gosh, I like his eyes, but there, and we'll take a copper clay one. We'll put it here. I'm not gonna put one in the fish. I think that would look too silly. Should I color his eye in though? Should his eye be black? I think it should be. I don't know why it's white. Let's take the marker that we had. I might be sorry, but I don't know. He just looks kind of spooky, doesn't he? So let's take and give him a black eye. Help if I could draw a circle. I think that looks better. At least he's not quite so spooky. Yay, okay. And then at the bottom, I'm gonna take one of each, and I'm just going to go out to the side. So we're gonna line them up. 1, 2, whoops. And am I getting them straight? Trying to. Then we'll take this one. I don't think I'm getting them straight. I may have to fix one. I think I'm gonna fix the pink one, or the Moody Mauve one. Maybe like that. Okay, yay. Now this card is done. How fun. Okay. One more card to go. This one's fun too. Let me move this stuff out of the way and I'll show you what we've got. All right, Misty Moonlight card base. We have gray granite card base layer. It's a layer. And then I've got 2 strips of the Gone Fishing. It's not Gone Fishing, but it's the Fishing Designer Series paper. We are going to have to do some stamping. Then I have a piece of Misty Moonlight that I have actually embossed with the, I'm pulling it up. I've embossed it with the Timber 3D embossing folder. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me see. How do I do this? I want you guys to see the embossing on it. I can see it, but I don't know if you guys can see it. I want to get it in the right. There we go. Maybe that, like that. So you guys can see it. Just enough. Layers are fun, and when they have a little bit of embossing to them or highlighting to them, it just adds a lot more interest. Not too bad last night, but Jonesboro had bad storm yesterday afternoon, and this morning we had some scary lightning. I'm not surprised. I was watching the weather, and you guys looked like you were under the gun, so I'm glad it wasn't severe for you guys. All right, what do I need to do? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that card back so I can look at it and see what I did. Where are you? It's right here. I'm going to do, I didn't empty all of the envelope. So I have some more cardstock that we're going to stamp on. One is for the sentiment, the other one is for the bobbers and the lures. And then I fussy cut, and I did this ahead of time so you guys didn't have to watch me do it. But some of that Gone Fishing paper has just a whole sheet of fish. So if you do get the kit, you will get the fish that you can fussy cut and add to your card. So let's go ahead and start with stamping. I'm going to take the Rippled Water stamp. I know it's here somewhere because I just used it earlier. I have like, I don't know, 17 stamps in front of me. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Here it is. All right, so we're going to use the gray granite. We're going to do tone on tone. And we are just going to stamp the cardstock. And we're basically what you're doing is you're creating part of your own, it's not designer series paper, but your own paper that you can use. So it's fun. You can go ahead and use your stamps and actually create your own backgrounds, which is what I'm doing right now. So I'm just basically inking it up, carrying it over. I'm going to do it throughout the entire sheet, mostly at the top and the bottom, simply because we've got paper that's going to be layered in the middle. But let me go ahead and get this done, and then we will start to do some layering. So I think that's good. So I'm going to do that. Let me clean this off. And then I'll close up my ink pad. And then what we'll do is we'll layer the paper down. And then we've got a couple more things to stamp, but we'll do that after we get everything layered down. So we're going to take the Designer Series paper, and we're going to basically, it's not necessarily centered per se, but close, come down just a little bit, I think. It's truly just preference. It's just layering to add some interest, if you will. So we'll go ahead and get this done. And then put this down about right here. Okay, and then we're going to take the next one, which is some netting, and we're going to layer it on top of this patterned paper. Okay, and we're going to put it probably about right here. Line it up. Then I'm going to take this fun paper that I embossed, the Misty Moonlight embossed strip. Plenty of glue on that. And then I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to layer it as well. Bring it up about like that. So now I have 3 different layers on this card. Okay. And I'll wait to put the fish on. What I want to do now is I want to do some stamping. So one of the fun things that I like to stamp is this bobber. This bobber is a lot of fun to stamp. So let me get the 2 pieces. It's also a layered stamp. This time I'm going to do it in blue. I think last time I did it in the Calypso Coral, which makes it look like a red bobber. But I'm going to do it in blue. So I'm going to do the main bobber in, let me see, I want to make sure, these are both the same size. That's good. Okay. I'm going to do the main bobber in the gray granite. So we'll go ahead and get it stamped. Okay. Clean that up. And I'm going to bring out the Misty Moonlight. Right here. Get the base inked up, looking through, making sure I'm getting good coverage. Looks a little splotchy to me. I'm practicing. That's better. All right. Kind of interesting. Looking through. All right. Okay. That looks good. So let me go ahead. Sorry guys, I'm gonna pull it down. I gotta get my head in the way for just a second perhaps. I can't see if my head's in the way, but I'm having to look over. All right, so we got that. It's a little dark, but it'll lighten up a little bit. Perhaps the last time I stamped off, I'm not sure. Now the other thing that I'm gonna do with this Misty Moonlight paper is I'm going to stamp "Good things come to those who wait." So I'm going to go ahead and get that stamped. And let me just test it real quick. All right. This ink does lighten up a little bit once it dries. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get that stamped. And then we're going to cut this out. And this is going to be fun, guys, because I'm not using your typical die to cut this out. I am using a die to cut it out, but I think you'll find it fun to see what I've done. Okay, so in the die set, you have a die that looks like if you look at it together, it looks like a tackle box. And I'll show you that here in just a second. But I'm going to pull this out, and this particular die will fit around this "Good things come to those who wait." Just perfectly. See how that works? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tape, and I am going to center this the way that I want it. I'm going to tape it down. And then I'm going to have to bring in my big cut and emboss, which I have right here. I just got to reach behind me. Give me just a second, because it is big and it is a bit heavy. So I'm gonna bring it in. And I've already got my plates ready to go. So we'll get these on here. And I'm gonna take, and I'm going to die cut Those Good Things Come to Those Who Wait with my tackle box die. So let's go ahead and crank this through. There we go. Now I can get this out of the way. Okay. Pull my tape off. Oh, we'll cut the bobber out with the smaller one. I could have left the bigger one out, but I didn't think of that. All right, so we've got Good Things Come to Those Who Wait. I'll go ahead and put this die back out of the way. Move this stuff out of the way. And I'm going to bring this one back in for just a second because we are going to die cut our bobber. So here is the die for the bobber. And I have, it's kind of a mess, but I'm going to show you it. I have a metal bowl. Let's see. It's metal, and it has a magnet in it. So when I'm working with my dies here at my station, when I'm videotaping, I put my dies here so that I don't lose them. But because it's a magnet, I don't have to worry about them flopping around and everything. So if you hear that noise, that's what I'm doing. I'm looking for my plates. So we've got our plates going here. Make sure I've got this lined up the way that I want it. I do. So let's go ahead and crank this through. And now I have everything die cut. We can start to assemble this card. So here's our bobber. Move these out of the way. Put my die where it needs to go. All right, bring this back in. So first things first, I think I'm going to put Good Things Come to Those Who Wait so that I can start to center my fish around all of that. So let me go ahead and I'm going to put dimensionals because I'm popping it up. We'll put dimensionals behind this. And just to prevent middle squish, sag, I'm going to put one in the middle. All right, and then we'll center this probably right about here, I'm thinking. And then, oh, we're still good. I haven't adhered this yet. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take our piercing mat. I'm gonna turn it over to the other side that I do the piercing on, and I'm gonna take my take your pick, and I'm just gonna poke a little hole. I'm gonna get it started, and then I'm gonna poke a hole through here because I'm gonna put some twine or some linen thread through here. So we've got this hole on this one, and then, oh, you guys, there's another bobber that I need to do. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe I missed that. All right, sorry. One more bobber to tie to stamp. So I need this one and I need this one. All right, we're gonna do it in gray granite as well. I'll go fast. I thought I was done with my stamping. So let me put this up here. Oh, this needs to be in the other color. Gray granite right here. Okay, we've got that. Clean this one off. I'm gonna bring out the Calypso Coral. Haven't used that color tonight, so let me pull it out. And I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of ink here. I may decide to stamp off. Yeah, that's a little dark. So I've stamped off a little bit. This won't be as dark. That looks good. All right. Sometimes, you know, it pays to test just to see if you want your image to be dark or if you feel like you need it to be just a little bit lighter. And you can stamp off and it will make it much lighter for you. So let me pull out this die. I may have to, here we go. Got the right one. We'll crank it through real quick and then we're gonna be rolling along. So here's my tape. Oops, did I move it? I might have. All right, there we go. Bring this back in quick. And then we'll poke a hole in this one as well because it will be hanging from the linen thread, which we're gonna pretend is fishing line. All right, let me move this stuff out of the way. There we go. All right, now we're going to punch the hole in this one as well. Punch it through for the linen thread. And then I'm just gonna take a couple pieces of linen thread and let me see, just clip those off. Clip it off. And then I'm gonna thread it through and I'm gonna take my tape and I'm just gonna tape it down to the back. So just regular, cellophane tape or Scotch tape and I'm gonna tape this down quick. Harper's like, Mom, you're going long tonight. You need to hurry up. Sorry, guys. It just depends. If there's a lot of activity going on with the stamping and cutting, it does take me just a little bit longer. I do try to keep them right at about an hour, but sometimes I do have a few that go over. So, but we're on our last one, so we're almost there. All right, I'm gonna trim this off, that tape, so it's not coming through. So we've got this one, and then I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna stick it through here as well. A little bit more tape. Get this piece down. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put dimensionals on the backs of both of these. And we're gonna go ahead and get these adhered down. So let me put one here and here. I'm gonna put just one right here. And then what I'm gonna do is I will figure out where I want this bobber to go. Let me get these out of the way. On the card. So we're gonna put it probably right about here. I will set that down and then I'm gonna take, and I'm gonna give a little bit of leeway to my line. I don't want it to be taut, but I'll take it over to the back of my card base and I'm just gonna tape this down. Okay, and it was a little long, but that's okay. So now we've got this one down, and when I glue it down to the card base, I'll make sure that that's a little loose. And then my other one is right here, so we're gonna do the exact same thing. And I'm gonna set it down probably maybe right about here. We're gonna put fish in behind it, but we've got that, and I'm gonna make this a little loose, take it around to the back, and we'll take this one down, okay? So now that we've got these, now what I can do is I can take our card base, let me pull this stuff out of the way, card base, and go ahead and burnish it down. Move this stuff out of the way. Now I'm gonna add glue to the back of this, and we'll get it adhered down. Okay. And then all we'll need to do is add our fish that we're fishing for. All right, so we've got this down. A few more dimensionals. So let's turn these guys over. And I think I'm going to use the minis, if I can find the minis. I think they're right here. So here, here, and here. A couple on this one. I can hear Harper upstairs. I'm not sure what she's doing, but she definitely wants attention. Ray comes home tomorrow. Her daddy comes home tomorrow, and I know she's missing him. I'm trying to fill in, but she's definitely a daddy's girl, and she doesn't understand why she's upstairs all by herself. It's probably, is it getting dark out? The sun is starting to set. I was just kind of looking out behind me, and it is starting to get dark, so that's part of it. But at least she can get outside. I left the slider open so she can get outside. All right, so let's go ahead and put some fish down. So we've got this little bitty fish. He's gonna go right here. He's thinking about that lure there. And then I think this one is gonna go probably right here. And then we've got this one that we're gonna put, about right here. All right, there you go, guys. This card is done. How fun are these? So let me bring these back in, and then I got one more card I want to show you because I had so much fun with it. But this was the third card we made. This was the second card we made, and they are a little bit different. And then we made the vest. Where's the vest? We've got the vest card. How fun is that? And I don't know, you guys tell me what you think, but I'm really glad that I went ahead and put that extra panel on with the embossing. To me, it just kind of made the vest. But you wouldn't necessarily have to, but I like it with the vest. All right, here's the other card that I made. Remember I showed you that tackle box die? Oh, how fun is this? Thank you, Diane. I had so much fun with this. And actually, Diane, I know you made one when you were here, and I loved yours. And I kept thinking, I'm going to make one of those. I'm going to make one of those. So I went ahead and made mine. I popped up the edges of it so the lures are laying down into the tackle box. I used shiny silver paper. I embossed. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me see if I can get the right light on it. I embossed Happy Father's Day. I don't have anything inside yet, but how fun is that? I love that tackle box. So those are the cards for tonight. We're done fishing. We're going to move on to something else next week. I just want to remind you guys about the like and the share. I'm going to pull this up so you guys can see, so that you guys can get into the drawing for the ladybug and the punch as a special gift for helping me to reach 500 subscribers on YouTube. I'm still in shock. I'm so grateful. And I want to say thank you by doing a drawing for this Ladybug bundle. You need to like and share this video on Facebook. And if you haven't followed me on Facebook, be sure to do that. And then when it gets uploaded to YouTube, then like and share the video on YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed to me on YouTube, then please do that as well. Thank you, Kara. I love this tackle box too. It's so cute. How fun. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Remember, this is a to-go class. If you're interested, go out to my website. It gives you all the information. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Have a great weekend. Have a great holiday weekend. And I will catch you guys next week when I do the drawing for who wins. I'll tell her, Diane, that you said hello. But I'll do the drawing, or I'll announce the name of the person who won the drawing at the next to-go class next Thursday. So anyway, thank you guys so much. I enjoy having you here. Thank you for chatting with me. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.